Alrighty, well, that's another chapter done. Hold on, I need to see the chat that I missed during the last cutscene that was going on there and such. Let's see here. Guzma Tales of Vesperia said earlier that it might plan on starting at sometime late April. Yeah, I might be starting some of the Mad Lad May games late April to get a bit of a head start on them. It depends on, like, how the schedules work out for, like, the people who requested them. Like, for example, each game requested by a certain person around the channel, I would only want to start on a day that they can for sure make it and for sure at least, like, catch the first stream. So, like, you know, I'd be getting into contact with you, for example, Guzman, like, what day works best for you for me to start Tales of Vesperia? And then I'd do the same for, like, Dark Souls for Mortis and yada yada. Let's see here. Back to Pokemon. Lancer saying, I love the hockey mechanic in Gen 5. If you don't know what you're talking about, it's because you don't have it doesn't have an official name. Gen 5, you can hotkey any of number of things to the Y button, then you press Y, a menu pops up, and you select your thing. It's super cool and good. Huh. It's been a while since I've played Gen 5 Pokemon, but that sounds really nice. Looks like one of those hood figures in the black coats from Kingdom Hearts. What, the Invisible Soldier Kingdom at the end of that last cutscene? She or they, whatever they are, no idea. And yes, indeed, Adaba, I was indeedly do tongue-tied there. Welp. We got a Sugi's Confect. So, in Fire Emblem Awakening, something interesting about Fire Emblem Awakening to Fates is that for the Birthright route, 3 of the child units are 3 of the parent units from Awakening, or like their spiritual reincarnations or whatever, and 3 of the parent units in the Conquest route are 3 of the child units from Awakening. So technically there's like 6 characters total taken from Awakening. As for the ones in Conquest who just are the kids from Awakening and such, they have like different fake names. And for the ones that are like the new kids in Birthright, who are technically new people, but also like the spirits reincarnated of these 3 characters from Awakening, their names are just anagrams of what they were in Awakening. So in Awakening, one of the characters there, Gaius, there was an item that you could get called Gaius's Confect. And we just got a Sugi's Confect, and a Sugi is an anagram of Gaius. So, the fact that Gaius is a character in Fire Emblem Awakening, and they took basically his character and made a Sugi in this game, who we'll meet later down the line. And they even took Gaius's Confect and made a Sugi's Confect. That's pretty funny. That's certainly something. Man, Anima, oh gee, Dark Souls, wish you the highest luck with that. That game doesn't change you. Well, I've beaten Undertale with oven mitts. No game can change me. I'll never get more mad at a game than I did with beating Undertale's genocide route while wearing oven mitts and not being able to feel the keys that I'm pressing. Like, I doubt it gets harder than that. So, like, I'm not worried. We'll see there. Yeah, because Tales of Vesperia is pretty dang long. You finished your game around 55 hours. Took your time with most of the game, but rushed the last quarter part of the game. Gotcha. And later games they did similar, but worse mechanic where you can have 4 items hotkey to the D-pad. Also, Sugi doesn't even exist yet. How did you get his Confect? Good question. He hasn't even been conceived yet. But yeah, we somehow got his Confect. Yeah, that, his parents haven't even done the thing yet in this playthrough to make him exist. Where's the thing? But yeah, we have a Sugi's Confect. So, there's that. That's certainly something, isn't it? Well, hi. Here, want glasses? Yeah, there you go. I love how I keep taking the same pair of glasses, just passing it around all the time. Hold on a hot second here. Let's go ahead and support. And so we've got a couple new support conversations here. Oh, it's a hike to go out this far, but I'm almost to the traps I set last night. If I caught something big, there should be plenty for a feast for the whole camp. Oh, hello. Ah, yeah! It's hanging in my trap. It can't be. Setsuna. Yep, it's me. Hello, Lord Harmonia. Hello. This is no time for pleasantries. How did you get trapped again? I thought I was pretty clear the last time we talked. But I told you to be more careful. I'll adjust my mic again slightly. Whatever, we can discuss this later. First, let's get you down from there. Thanks again. Alright, there you go. I feel like we really need to address this problem. Maybe with some kind of plan. Oh no, I don't want to cause you any trouble, Lord Harmonia. You already have. Twice. In that case, perhaps it would be easier to just pretend you don't see me next time. Lady Hinoka has always found me before, so I'll be okay. Let's It's not the point system. You being caught in traps for hours isn't good for you, or for the group. Oh, it's never for hours, my lord. It's usually a day or two before Lady Hinoka is able to figure out where I got caught. I mean, you've been left hanging in traps overnight. I suppose that's one way to look at it. That's the only way to look at it. I've had enough. You can't live like this, Setsuna. I'm ordering you to undergo special training in how to avoid traps. Thanks for the offer, but I think I'll pass. You can't pass. It's an order, not an offer. Don't give me that. This is for your own good. I guess. Well, but yeah, did someone say plan? Well, with the Geico plan, you could save 50% or more on car insurance. Hashtag not sponsored, but could be. waiting for the day that some random company reaches out to me like, hey, you want to mention our product in one of your videos? My oh my. Will say one thing about Vesperia is that the humor in that game is great. Haven't enjoyed a game where you could actually laugh along with in a long time, the first being Xenoblade 2. Xenoblade 2 is a good example of that. What was the last game I played that I could like laugh along with as it went on? We could laugh along with this game after the freaking flashbangs in the Norian castle, but that was laugh along in an unintended way, I think. That's just like, that's the aesthetics of the game, if I'm gonna use terminology from my game design classes. Something that we've talked about in our game design classes is how games will have mechanics, dynamics, and aesthetics. Mechanics is like how the game works, what you can do. Yada yada, it's the mechanics. Dynamics are how you actually use that, like how, like what actually happens when you play. Like for example, the mechanics are I can reclass Felicia to whatever of these classes if I want to. The dynamics would be, okay, I choose to reclass her to a hero. And then finally, aesthetics would be how it makes you feel and such. And sometimes the dynamics in a game would be completely different from what the developers could have ever intended with the mechanics. You creating a completely different, unique play experience. I feel like Breath of the Wild is a great example of a game that does that a lot. And then it could have you feel whatever kinds of way. So when it comes to us laughing about the flashbangs in the Nor castles, that's an example of something clearly unintended that just happened as a result of our own like unique dynamics of, you know, the platform that we were playing on, creating weirdness and stuff before I fixed it. I don't know, that's a weird thing there. But yeah, hashtag sponsored by Cheerios. Imagine this stream is sponsored by Gorilla Mind Rush. What is that? Is that a thing? Flashbacks, just took it out of context for a moment there. No, like the freaking thing that blinds you temporarily, or just like, you know, is so bright that, you know, that kind of flashbang, not the other kind of freaking flashbang. What if, like, every stream going forward, I just pretended to be sponsored by a completely different company every single stream, and would just keep everybody guessing about if I'm actually sponsored by anybody? Let's not do that. Reina, wait, you dropped something. What if we gave Reina a Rhine voice from Xenoblade Chronicles? Can't spell Rainbow without Rhine, baby. Oh, my apologies, I should be more careful. Is that an apron? Yes, I've been asked to help out with chores, so... Chores? Yes, you know, cooking, cleaning, laundry, waste disposal, murderizing, all that. Oh, I can see why they'd ask for your help. You look like you could handle anything. But are you sure you're okay with doing that? You're not obligated to, and it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that someone with a freaking Cricketune X-Scissor looking face would enjoy. Thank you for looking out for me, but it's really no trouble. Alright, if you say so. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some stews to prepare. Good luck. Not what I was expecting from that. Oh, like the thing from Bravely Default 2, by the light of the sun. Oh, the freaking Bravely Default 2 flashbang. Gorilla Mind Rush is like gamer juice that you probably shouldn't drink. I've literally never heard of this before. Also, don't do fake sponsors thing because apparently you can get in trouble for fake sponsors. Yeah, I've heard about that. I was just saying that as like a joke. I don't think it's something that I'd ever, you know, actually do. But I have heard about, you know, people doing that and, you know, getting in trouble because they put up fake sponsors to like help validate themselves. Also, something very interesting about small content creators is a lot of them will want sponsorships for like no other reason than it helps like validate them and, you know, make them feel more official as a streamer, even if they get next to nothing out of it. So there's a lot of companies that will like purposefully try to like get to sponsor as many small streamers as possible to go for like quantity over quality of like, you know, reaching more people via more streamers essentially, and have like almost no benefit to the streamer themselves. Like, there's a lot of companies, I won't name any names, but there's a lot of companies out there that are like, oh, if you put our logo on your like Twitch stream and such, then you'll get like a 10 or 15% discount on our products. And if somebody clicks the link in your description that directs to our products page and buys something, then you'll get a small commission from somebody, you know, doing that. And then you join their official like partner program or whatever, and then you do that and you get like, you know, virtually no benefit out of it. And their idea behind that is there's just so many small streamers out there that just want to be sponsored purely because it helps them feel validated and like they're more official of a streamer. Like, look at me, I'm sponsored by insert X brand name thing here. Like, isn't that crazy? I'm such an official streamer. Whereas in reality, there's just a lot of companies out there that, you know, get their logos out on as many small streams as possible, knowing that they can do that by toying with people's emotions like that, and, you know, getting big benefits to themselves with, you know, streamers en masse advertising their stuff, while they give, you know, next to no benefits really to the content creator themselves. So, to any fellow small content creators out there, be very wary about sponsorships, because in general, if you think that your channel isn't big enough that you can actually offer like something significant to whatever company's trying to sponsor you, then chances are they don't expect you to be able to, you know, offer them much, and probably, you know, aren't going to be ready to, you know, exactly give you something that, you know, would be a much bigger help to you and such. But yeah, if anything, you was to compare her face to Vandam, who also has a giant X on his face. Oh yeah, with Xenoblade 2 and such. Didn't you mention at some point that you plan on doing YouTube live streams someday? Yes, indeedly do. I have experimented with them before. I've only done, as of yet, I've only done one YouTube stream, like full playthrough thingamabob. I can find it here. It was for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and I never actually did the expansions and stuff. We just did the main game and whatnot. Where's my display capture? We just did the main game before the expansions. If I go to playthroughs here, that was towards the end of last year. Where is that? Here it is. Here it is. This is the one playthrough that I've ever done that was live streams on YouTube rather than on Twitch. And it was certainly an interesting experience with the YouTube live streaming rather than Twitch live streaming. It was basically like the whole same setup and freaking everything and whatever. And, you know, there's a lot different about YouTube live streaming. Like, for example, you know, it's still a video, so there's still going to be like likes and dislikes, and it just becomes a video afterwards and such, and people can still comment and yada yada. But I'll turn off display capture for now. I feel like the one playthrough that I've done on YouTube has definitely shown me that there's way more discoverability for YouTube live streams than Twitch live streams. It could also just be that my YouTube channel is much bigger than my YouTube channel, and that helped things along. It could also be the case. But on YouTube, when I was streaming my playthrough of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 there were a few people who came into my stream being like, whoa, I've never heard of this channel before, or ever heard of this game before, but I just saw this stream was recommended to me. Like, what's this channel and this video game about? And I'd be like, really? YouTube recommended this to you without you, like, being familiar with the game I'm playing or the channel at all? Like, I don't know if the algorithm just really, really liked me around the time that was going on, especially since, like, it was around the time that my RCT video was still doing, like, really well for itself, my video essay on that. YouTube algorithm is definitely better than Twitch. Well, it's not that the YouTube algorithm is better than Twitch, it's that YouTube has an algorithm, Twitch does not. Well, it does for the recommended on the side. There is technically some recommended on the side. It's usually going to be bigger channels though. But discoverability on Twitch is typically, you go to a game category for a specific game, and now you have a list of every person streaming that game from most viewers to least viewers. Like, there's next to no discoverability on on Twitch, unfortunately. Like, I guess it's something the platform doesn't need, per se. Like, Twitch's job is to give you a platform to stream on, not to, you know, be your marketing team and whatnot. It's not their job to get you discovered. If you want to take Twitch's side, that's the argument that you can make. It's not their job to get you discovered. But Twitch's kind of stance is they typically will focus more on promoting their big streamers with like thousands of viewers and whatnot, because those are the streamers that have proven that make Twitch money. So I feel like the stance for Twitch is like, why promote something that we don't know makes us money when we can focus our efforts on promoting something that we do know makes us money? Whereas YouTube, with its algorithm, as Lancer says, the YouTube algorithm is absolute chaos. It goes all kinds of ways. And hello G-Todd. I'm probably still freaking mispronouncing things, and I apologize if that's the case. Yeah, game search is the only way you can find other streams, but it only shows up if they're streaming that game. Most people have a lot of big Twitch channels, also have bigger YouTube channels, so you can probably find their Twitch through their YouTube. That's one of the main reasons that I started YouTube, is there's next to no discoverability on Twitch. The #1 best advice that any streamer can ever give, in my opinion, if you want to grow a Twitch channel, make a YouTube channel. That's what you do, essentially. So, yeah. But at this point, my YouTube channel is, you know, so much bigger than my Twitch channel. So when I was saying that, you know, I was debating about potentially becoming a YouTube streamer one day, I might just lean towards it for several reasons. One, because, you know, my channel there is much bigger anyway. Two, there's, you know, much more discoverability there, because the algorithm sometimes will actually be promoting streams and whatnot, unlike Twitch, where you're just like a list, essentially. Yeah, we're starting to talk about Twitch here. It would also help keep like all the content in one place, and I'd be able to, like, you know, it's convenient for people as well. Like, for example, if I'm going through my subscription list and I see that somebody in my subscriptions that I've, you know, never talked to before myself is streaming on someday, then hey, maybe I'll stop by their stream briefly and like say, hey, I really like your content. I think that what you do is great. Keep up the good work. Just figured I'd come in to stop in and say that. And then who knows, maybe one thing leads to another and you start, you know, getting a conversation going. And yeah, I do feel like a lot of people who have found me through YouTube and such, but a lot of the time, if there's a content creator that I really like who says that they stream as well, then I'll probably more so consider it if they're a small content creator, because, you know, I like supporting small content creators. If they have a bigger channel, I usually won't go check out their Twitch and such. But, you know, it's still an if of like, okay, do I want to... Twitch is like a weird kind of situation. Sometimes I feel a little bit intimidated about coming to people's Twitch streams, because it feels almost like an exclusive club where they've built up like their own separate community on there, separate from YouTube, and like maybe I'd be intruding and feel out of place if I went to their Twitch stream. But if I see somebody streaming on YouTube who I'm subscribed to, then it's like, hey, what's the harm in me just stopping by and saying hi? And it's so much easier to just like click on a stream there rather than on Twitch. Want to play a spot pass chapter of Fire Emblem Awakening? You're not artist on Discord, are you, by chance? Who I helped to set up the spot pass stuff on for Fire Emblem Awakening of. By chance, are you? Maybe? Let me know if you are, and then I can suddenly be like, oh, it's you! Let me know if that's a case or if that's completely different. If it is completely different and you do want help setting up spot pass with freaking Awakening stuff, let me know when I can help. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, and in general, I feel like a move to YouTube might be a good end game kind of option to like hop on the boat of earlier, because the thing about streaming on Twitch, like streaming on any other platform, is everybody has a different platform that they go to for live streamed content. Like Twitch is the biggest one for going for live streamed video game content, but when it comes to looking for live streams, everybody has their own platform that they do that on. There's freaking Twitch, there's YouTube Live, there's Facebook Live, there used to be Mixer before it got shut down. There's some other things out there, like I think one is called like Coffee or something weird like that. There's all kinds of different live streaming platforms out there. Everybody has their own place that they go to for live streamed content, if they go to places for live streamed content at all. They might just want videos. But where do people go to when they want pre-recorded videos? YouTube. This is the common ground that everybody shares. Nobody goes to Twitch because they want to find new creators through their Twitch VODs. Like, that doesn't happen. If people want pre-recorded videos, they go to YouTube. Like, there's no reason to go to other platforms, essentially. So, even though everybody already has different platforms for live streamed content, the platform that everybody already shares for their pre-recorded content is YouTube already anyway. So I feel like if YouTube really committed to their live stream kind of service to actually flush it out, make it, you know, a lot clearer, make the UI much better, make the whole experience a lot better, honestly. There's a lot of things I would change about YouTube live streaming. Like, I'm still streaming on Twitch to this day because it just feels better and nicer and yada yada stream on freaking Twitch. Like, the whole format and everything here is better. But if YouTube actually committed to, like, really flushing out its live streaming service and making it, like, a main part of its platform, rather than just, like, some niche side thing that not a lot of people even seem to know about, then I genuinely believe that YouTube could kill the other live streaming platforms just like that if they actually, like, committed and flushed it out and whatnot. So, you know, maybe it'd be a good idea to go over there just on the off chance that ever happens, but I don't know if it would. I don't know why they haven't committed to, like, flushing it out and such, because live streaming still on YouTube still feels like some side thing that not a lot of people do, and that maybe that would actually be another reason to freaking move over to YouTube streaming, to be like an early mover. Also, probably wouldn't have to deal with these kinds of bots. There's other bots that you have to deal with on YouTube, not those kinds of ones. Very different ones, and a lot more of them as well. But yeah, hold on, let's see here, other stuff. Don't think you need to explain how you found my channel. Alright, no, that indeed I do. You say I need a hack 3DS or the file of a friendly person. Yeah, there was one person that I once freaking, you know, took their save file, put it in my 3DS, got the spot pass content, and send it back to them, but, like, I gotta be careful about doing that, because the freaking Nintendo ninjas are gonna be after me, and the fact that I'm, you know, saying that aloud now isn't the best idea. One pro of Twitch over YouTube, you'd say, is that most people looking for live streams go to Twitch. Well, I don't notice too many people looking for them on YouTube compared to Twitch. Yeah, I can't say I've ever looked for live streams on YouTube compared to Twitch, but if I'm on YouTube and I see a channel that I'm already subscribed to live streaming, then I do consider stopping by and saying hi, to just be like, hey, here's a channel that I'm subscribed to and I already like and such. Maybe I should stop by and see what's going on and such. Like, it's a lot easier to do since YouTube is a platform that I'm already on anyway. So I do feel like YouTube has a lot more potential for that kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, I do think that there's a lot of potential with YouTube streaming. So I'm actually going to do a couple experiments later this year when it comes to doing YouTube playthroughs. So I mentioned way earlier this stream, so anybody watching this on YouTube after the fact, this would be like 2 episodes ago, I guess. I mentioned before how I was planning on very soon, probably tomorrow we'll pick it up again, continuing with Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword on my Wii U over there with my Cabell's Wiimote rifle that you can just barely see the orange end of next to the doggy there. I'll finish off that playthrough because in June Skyward Sword HD is releasing on the Switch, and because I've already done, or I will have by that point already done, a full playthrough of Skyward Sword, the original game, with my challenge run on Twitch, I think that I might stream a full playthrough of Skyward Sword HD on the Switch on my YouTube channel instead of Twitch channel, since I will have already done the original on my Twitch channel. So when Skyward Sword HD releases on the Switch, I'll probably do a full playthrough of that on YouTube live streaming, and with a Diamond and Pearl remakes for Pokemon that are coming out sometime later this year. I mentioned during the last chapter there that even though I really would not pick up the titles if I wasn't a content creator, I'm not super enthused about what I've seen so far, I am thinking, for the sake of science, to pick up both titles and then do a playthrough of one, either Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl on Twitch, and do a playthrough of the other as live streamed on YouTube, essentially, and kind of seeing how I feel about both playthroughs, essentially, and see what they're like. So I already have plans for 2 playthroughs later this year, which will be YouTube live stream playthroughs, Skyward Sword HD, and one of Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. I don't know which. All I know is one's gonna be freaking Twitch and the other's going to be YouTube. So these will be my methods of experimenting and seeing if, you know, it's something that I could warm up to and get used to and whatnot. And I don't know, if it is, then maybe I'd wind up moving over to YouTube sooner rather than later. But we'll see how I feel about it. Maybe both those playthroughs will absolutely crash and burn, and then I'm just gonna be like, screw YouTube, I'm staying on Twitch for the rest of my life. Or maybe I could be like, wow, this is great and so refreshing, and I love being able to talk to like so many people who've like subscribed to my channel who had no idea that I streamed and stuff like that, and being able to meet countless new people out there and be able to have like more interactions and such. So yeah, still gonna play the Sinnoh remakes because, you know, this is what I do with new titles that come out. Like, I played 3D All-Stars, for example, and I freaking hated it. For the sake of freaking, I'm getting these games so the fair folk at home don't have to, is what one excuse could be. And also just being able to, there's also going to be people who, you know, criticize my video essay of Pokemon being like, how can you criticize something if you haven't even played it? You need to be able to play it to be able to properly criticize it. But then like both sides of the arguments are wrong, because both options are wrong, because if I pick up the games and I complain about it, people are going to be like, you complain about it, but you still like picked it up and, you know, monetarily supported the company that you're criticizing. Unbelievable. But if I don't pick them up and I criticize them, then people are gonna say, how can you criticize something without even playing it? Like, what the heck? The audacity of people who just want attention by complaining about things without even ever having played it. Like, grow up, seriously. So whether I pick them up or not, people are gonna hate me. So, whatever. You know? Because, again, if I don't pick them up and I complain, people are gonna be like, you can't complain without picking them up. And if I pick them up and complain, people are gonna say, how can you complain when you pick them up anyway? So I'm fully expecting that. But once I get to freaking, once we do wind up covering either Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl, when they come out on a YouTube live stream, I expect a lot of people to come into the YouTube chat and say one or the other of those situations. Well, I guess the perspective of how do you complain about this when you pick it up anyway. But let's face it, if I didn't, they would just say the other thingamabob there. But yeah, at least you got before the scalpers got it and before the end of Mario's death. Yeah, freaking Mario's public execution on March 31st. I played 3 houses during hype. I did my first playthrough when it was like brand new and just come out, and my Blue Lion's second playthrough was shortly after that. But then everything after that was like, you know, after not really anybody was doing anything much about 3 houses. Are people still making 3 houses content nowadays? I posted my video essay on Fire Emblem 3 houses like a week ago. I don't know if people are still making freaking 3 houses content. I just know that probably almost nobody's making Fire Emblem Fates content out there nowadays, most likely. But yeah, you missed your chance. Now people are selling it for hundreds of dollars, LMAO. Yeah, and that's how they freaking, that's how Nintendo gets you. They instill in people the fear of missing out by saying like it's only available for a certain time. So if you don't pick it up within the time frame and give us money, then you're going to miss out, and then you'll only be able to pick it up for like hundreds of dollars down the line. And then they say that they did it because they wanted to celebrate Mario's 35th anniversary. Like, yeah, right. Saying any opinion on Pokemon is the internet equivalent of asking people to kick you in the stomach. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's about the case for that. I don't know why I don't know why there's some people out there who just make it like their life's mission to bring you down as much as they can because of an opinion you have on a series of children's video games. Like, what? It's certainly something. But yeah, you got lucky and found a copy of 3D All-Stars a couple days ago and avoided the scalpers kappa. Well, let's see this support conversation. Let's see this here. You won the match yesterday, and if I carry the 5, we're tied, Silas. Why don't we face off today and settle this for good? I agree. I was just about to suggest the very same thing. You sure sound confident, but can you back that up with your skill? Prepare yourself. Here I come. Kurg! This isn't over. Urgh! Welp, phew, looks like this match goes to me. I don't know about that. I think I landed enough blows to claim victory. Not a chance, that fight was all mine. Bluster all you like, I can see your weapon shaking from exhaustion. face it, my loyalty is greater. After I first saw you on the battlefield, I thought it'd be easy to beat you. You've really improved over such a short time. You too. I guess your Nor background isn't a total waste. You really pushed me to my limits. I could say the same for you. I have a new respect for the Hashidans. You know, all of this is kind of amusing. What do you mean? Well, we've both become better fighters because of an argument about our friends. That's true. That's not the only thing that's changed. Honestly, I get kind of bored on the days when we aren't able to spar. Same thing happens to me. Really? Well, we were fighting about our best friends, but we ended up becoming best friends. It's one heck of a story. That's so true. Then, should we stop fighting? I don't want our new friendship to suffer. Never. We can continue to compete exactly because we're such good friends. It's not true friendship if you can't battle with each other, but the true treasure was the friends we made along the way. Huh, good point. Okay, stand up. Let's go another round. I'm going to put all my feelings for Lady Sakura into this fight. We'll see just how dedicated I am to Harmonia. You know, when it comes to people being dedicated to me, I've seen some people really attack me in the comments of that video, of my Pokemon video, but I've also seen some people like really defend me, and I don't think I like either or, honestly. Like, there have been some people who, like, you know, call out some of my arguments being like, how can you possibly make that kind of argument? How dare you? And there have been some people who respond to that who are like, oh, the guy in the video said that he studied game design, so he probably knows what he's doing. And it's like, yeah, I've studied game design, but that doesn't mean that you should take everything I say as, like, gospel. It's not wrong to have your own opinion, you know? Like, so I see some of these arguments in the comments, like, sometimes back and forth, like, trying to attack me and bring me down, and some people that are, like, trying to raise me up on this pedestal. And I don't think I like either or, honestly. Like, I don't think I'm comfortable with either way. So there's that when it comes to people proving their dedication to me or whatever that support conversation made me think of. So there's that. And Samurai, your Target somehow still had some copies for sale. Weird. And Guzma, well, for you, hearing people's different opinions don't really aggravate you too much, unlike a lot of other people. I don't mind other people's opinions. I just don't like when they freaking share them in a condescending way. Like, I have got to be so freaking stupid for having the opinion that I have, you know? And there have been people within the comments of that video who have been like, hey, that was like a nice video, you presented your arguments well, but I disagree on these points, and here's, you know, my evidence that supports my own arguments. And I would respond to them being like, hey, that's a fair point you bring up, actually. Like, here's my take on the point that you brought up. And I've had healthy discussions with people in the comments of that, and it's been great to see. It's just that most of the time when people contest me in that, it's usually in a freaking, I disagree with you about a series of children's video games, so I'm gonna try to prove to the world how stupid you are in an attempt to get some attention myself. That's what it seems like. But, you know, there's that. For a series about friendship and accepting other people's ideas, Pokemon is one of the most vitriolic fandoms you've ever seen. I've never heard the word vitriolic before, but just reading it out and, you know, seeing how that word makes me feel, reading it out, and probably how my mind thinks it would describe, vitriolic fandom probably sounds about right, even though this is the first time I've ever seen that word before. Usually like to hear different people's opinions, to hear out their pros and cons, see what they think, and sometimes it helps you see with open eyes and changes your opinion if you're ever mixed up on something. When you ask for opinions, you don't ever intend to force your opinions afterwards. You usually just like to hear people out. Yeah, ever since Ultra Sun / Ultra Moon, the Pokemon community slowly started getting worse and worse. At least from what you've seen. It could have also been like, you know, with the internet getting, you know, more and more mainstream as time went on, along with the Pokemon series, where it went from like the only connections people had with Pokemon with other players was like the people who, you know, were playing with them locally and such. Whereas nowadays, any random username that you see on the interwebs could be somebody that you just randomly start butting heads with and stuff, you know? And I feel like the internet has made a lot of people a lot worse than they would be in person, because a lot of people seem to forget that behind every username is a real person with their own life experiences that have brought them up to this point to where they are, and have had their own basis for currently having the views that they currently have. Whereas people just see it as like a name on the screen, as like, look at this freaking idiot, let's just go ahead and freaking, you know, say how stupid they are to try to get attention myself or whatever. And But yeah, there's that. Mostly because the Pokemon community started growing larger and larger since Sun and Moon, and with a large amount of people coming in to join a community, it means it'll increase the number of how toxic it'll become. When it comes to like the whole internet kind of culture of things and people hating one another, it's definitely something I see a lot in the Smash community on Twitter. Ever since I got involved with being a Smash commentator for about a year before I started hanging up the commentary towel a little bit, there's a lot of online Smash players that I got to know during that time, so therefore I follow a lot of competitive Smash players on Twitter, and some of the things that I see come up there sometimes that's happening in the Smash community is like, what the heck? Like, just a few days ago, I was seeing posts on Twitter that said that apparently recently there was something that went on where a bunch of people of color within the Smash community, a lot of black people within the Smash community, made their own server or crew or something like that, like for the community of competitive Smash players who are people of color to gather and, you know, play with one another and yada yada. And apparently, for whatever reason, this made white Smash players really, really pissed, and they made their own server that was apparently only supposed to be for white Smash players, and it's like, oh no! Why would you do that? And then apparently it started going a step further. Apparently the white Smash players and their Discord wanted to challenge the black Smash players and their Discord in a crew battle. And it's like, this is the internet that we live in nowadays. And it's like, my goodness. So I heard about this after I started seeing it circulating on Twitter. A bunch of people joking about making various religious Smash Discords and whatnot. I appreciate the 25 bits there, Anima, for Jesse. But yeah, you're heading out, getting sleepy. Good night, guys. I appreciate you stopping by, hanging out, Anima. I appreciate the 25 bits, so I hope you have a good night. It's a racial war on Smash Bros. Yeah, so that's apparently something that's been going on within the online Smash community lately, and yikes, like, what the heck? My goodness. So yeah, there's situations like that I see on Twitter, and it just makes me be like, what is this freaking thingamabob going on? Like, I don't know what's going on with that, but apparently people started making like Smash Bros religious discords where it's like you can only join this Smash Bros Discord if you're part of this religion, but they made it as like a joke. They made it in parody to like the stuff that's going on there. So apparently over like the recent days, people have been making like Smash Discords that are exclusive to certain religions as like parodies of the whole situation going on with that. I only know the bare basics. All I know is freaking the stuff that I've been seeing from things that people are tweeting about. I only know the general gist from that, but like, it's not something I've bothered to look into more, and like, because I'm scared to, you know? No, not like Smash Bros religions, but people who are of a certain real world religion kind of discords, because people start making discords of, you're only supposed to be able to hop into this if you're of a certain ethnicity, and let's do crew battles to see who's better, and it's like, why? Every time I think that, like, hey, maybe the Smash community is not so bad after all, they start having freaking racial crew battles is what's apparently going on nowadays. And it's like, what the heck? So yeah, the internet, it does something to people. It certainly does something to people. Time to join the Smash Bros. Pagan Discord. Well, let's see the other stuff that I missed here and such. Can't actually understand why people prefer Sun and Moon more than Ultra Sun and Moon. For me, it's mostly just the fact that, like, when I played Ultra Sun and Moon, because it was basically just like playing Sun and Moon over again, I got so bored out of my mind that, like, I wanted to throw my 3DS out the window. Even though one could argue that Ultra Sun and Moon was just a better version of Sun and Moon. Though I do kind of like the whole Luzamine plot more than the thing with Necrozma in some ways. And vitriolic is something highly caustic or severe in effect as criticism. Gotcha. Ultra Sun Ultra Moon is basically the platinum version of Sun Moon. Yeah, people like platinum more than Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, people like Sun Moon more than Ultra Sun Moon. Even though Ultra Sun Moon has more content, like even post game they have every past villain. Yet people still say Sun Moon is better. I just think that there shouldn't be a third, like an enhanced third version released the following year in general. Like I think that shouldn't be a thing at all, and such. It's just seen people say Sun and Moon is better than Ultra Sun and Moon without giving a reasonable explanation. I think the one way that Ultra Sun, or that Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and I think the one way that Sun and Moon would be better than Ultra Sun and Moon is that I was intrigued by like the Luzamine plot and such. I felt like Ultra Sun and Moon with the Necrozma plot basically just took the plot that was already there in Sun and Moon. I was like, yeah, let's take a U-turn coming up here, and yeah, here's this other thing now, rather than telling something like different from the very beginning. Like the whole thing about like those two scientists or whatever, like cluing you in on like more of the plot going forward as the story went on, felt so much like the Necrozma plot was really just like shoehorned in there. Like, yeah, let's put these two scientists here to explain things, put them here to explain things, put them here to explain things. Like, it didn't feel natural. It just felt like they took Sun and Moon and then shoehorned in this other thing that was clearly never meant to be with that and such. Smash Bros, Undertale in its peak, and Fire Emblem during the peak of Awakening of Fates are the only other fandoms that you can think of that are more vitriolic than Pokemon. I'm sure that eventually I'll get some comments on my Fire Emblem Fates playthrough of like, how dare you even consider playing this game? It's so freaking garbage. How dare you? It hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. But yeah, let's see here. And the Smash community is truly amazing with how much petty racism it has. Yeah, it sure seems like, huh? Let's see here. Time to make Smash Discords exclusive to what your favorite Mario character is? I'd be down for that. When can I just start the Waluigi Discord server? What if I just change my current Discord server logo right now from my hat to Waluigi's hat, and we call it the Waluigi Discord without telling anybody, except I'm telling it to people now. But yeah, Sun Moon had a better story, but Ultra Sun Moon, you say, was better in every other way. Yeah, I can definitely imagine that. Wait, why did Luzamine want to go into Ultra Space in the first games anyway? Wasn't it to find her husband that she just ended up fusing herself with an Ultra Beast instead? Her mind was corrupted by Nihilego. Yeah, it was all kinds of wacky stuff. I've mentioned it before, but there might well be an upcoming playthrough of Pokemon Sun. Hey, I never actually got to showcase this layout with like the actual 3DS here before. I've shown this layout on other playthroughs before, because both Shuck and I in the future are thinking about doing a Soul Link playthrough of Sun and Moon. And if I turn off the cameras here, you'd be able to see like the full thing. And this is the setup that I got set up for it. And I guess this is my first time actually showcasing it with like a 3DS over here. So, you know, I'd be streaming it from here and whatnot, and there would be my 3DS on the right side, and then I would basically take her 3DS from Discord and paste it onto the left side there for her top screen and bottom screen to see what's going on with like both screens at once. And I set up the whole thingamabob with all these Z crystals and such that I can turn on and off whenever I want, like as they're obtained, and yada yada, kind of similar to gym badges. And I think that it would be a really cool playthrough once it happens. We're gonna have to wrap up Pokemon Platinum first, and like 3D World and some other things. But sometime this year we might wind up using this, and I think that'd be really cool. I've never done like a proper Soul Link with people before, apart from that one session with Marshall Monkey forever ago that I've told stories of before, and that'll be a story to tell another day. But yeah, so one day we may have this going here, and if/when that day comes, I hope it's a when, not an if. That I think it's something that I very much look forward to. But yeah, this layout for now, because we're not doing that weird thing. But yeah, let's see here. Doing the Smash of Darkness Discord, you can only join if you align yourself with darkness. My, I thought that was going to happen earlier this year. It was going to happen earlier this year. It was going to happen in early 2021, that Soul Link, but then the Diamond and Pearl remakes were announced, so I was like, okay, I want to do Platinum first. So now it's like we can't hop into that until like Platinum's done, because I don't want to do two main series Pokemon games at once. And then we also start Mario 3D World with Shuck and Anima, so we're gonna have to wrap up Mario 3D World first as well before we start another multiplayer thing. And then we also then there was also some like deep personal stuff that came up for Shuck, one of those kinds of things where it's like you don't control it, you just, you know, sometimes there's those times in your life where you need to be there for your family and whatnot, and something like that came up. So even Mario 3D World has been on hold for a little while because of, you know, this stuff that's been getting sorted out and stuff. I do think that things are getting better and such though, which is good to hear, but we are still gonna have to finish off 3D World, and I'm gonna have to finish off Platinum. Also have Mad Lad Mate coming up too. Yeah, so if we do wind up doing a Sun and Moon Soul Link and such, then it'll probably wind up being sometime in the summer. Also sometime in the summer we might start Minecraft, and that'd be cool and such. But yeah, let's see here. But yeah, there's a lot of Fire Emblem imagery in this chatting stream. Not trying to be mean, you swear. Who would have guessed that there was Fire Emblem going on while we're chatting about? I like chatting about things a lot of the time though, and this has happened many times. This is only like stream 4 of Fire Emblem Fates, and this has happened quite a lot of times where we get to the castle and we wind up talking about all kinds of things. And I like having those kinds of breaks to like talk about things and such as well. I do think that it's a nice, you know, break from regular things, just being able to, you know, talk about whatever stuff going on and whatnot. And do you know how else it helps me? Every chapter that we do is like just over an hour long a lot of the time, and between battles like this, we do support conversations for like 20 minutes where it's like, and like talk about some other things for like 20 minutes where it's like, it's something, but it's not enough to warrant its own part when each of the actual chapter parts are like an hour long. So when we freaking, you know, get to chatting like this, then it makes me able to cut these up into parts like way better, because then it can be like the freaking chapter and then this extended period of support conversations and chatting and just enjoying conversation and stuff, and then the next chapter, rather than chapter and like 15 minutes of like side stuff after, next chapter and then 15 minutes of side stuff here and there. Like, it helps me break this up into parts here and there. Us rambling like that, or me rambling like this while people listen to me and offer their opinions and stuff, makes it long enough that it can warrant its own part separate from the chapter. So I'll take that excuse, you know. Harmonian chatted have reached support level C. Yeah, maybe what happens when we get to support level S, huh? Can't realize we got off topic earlier when we brought Pokemon and you're bad. Don't worry about that. Like I said, it's an excuse for me to cut this up into parts in a way that like we have this like break part before the next chapter and stuff. Gotta head to bed. You got a dentist appointment early. Take care. All right, appreciate you stopping by and hanging out, Mortis. I hope you have a good rest of the night. But yeah, I think that we might just actually do the next chapter now. Oh wait, buildings and such. And hold on, I saw that comment earlier, Shiny Samurai, but I forgot to read it out of you saying that that layout looks neat. I appreciate it. I went through like so many iterations of throwing this together before I finally got to a design that I liked. And I think I have a design here somewhere where the Pokeballs are like my regular Pokeballs that are like the channel points and stuff here. And Shuck and I hadn't decided if we wanted like the standard Pokeballs that I drew, or if we liked these Sun and Moon special Pokeballs that I threw together, that I based the design off of the box arts of Sun and Moon, and like their general logo. That way, the general logos here, like that whole sparkly galaxy thing going on the inside of the Sun and Moon logos, I tried to base that off of like the bar across the button of the Pokeballs and such. So yeah, it worked on that layout for like a week on and off. We can make the Einherjar shop and such. Let's see here. Don't get an S support, we get a money support. We reach $ support when all of you give me your free Prime subs. Where's this going? I'm sorry. Let's put this freaking piece of crap down here. My goodness. Fire Emblem are all different, like the different games and whatnot. Some of them take place in the same universe, some of them don't. They are all like different games and whatnot. Some of them do continue like one story, like Fire Emblem 6 and 7, for example, tell the story of the same content. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn tell Ike's story, and this game is connected to Awakening. It's not like a proper sequel or anything. It has connections to Awakening and such, and so does Echoes later, but they are all, you know, their own very different kind of thing. I actually like the Pokeball layout more than the Z Crystal layout. What with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I numbered them here, so it's like you know which Pokemon is linked to which. So like my number 1 would be linked to her number 1, so you know that if like my number 1 gets knocked out, then so would hers because of like the Soul Link and yada yada. And I base the colors of like the numbers for each off of like the respective game and whatnot, and then put like our corresponding hat logos and such. Yeah, it took a while of brainstorming. Speaking of Pokeballs, you just really have 20k of the channel points of Pokeballs here. My, oh my. Well, let's turn the things back on and whatnot. They all take place in the same overall canon because Awakening decided to make that a thing. Do they really? I thought that some were for sure in different, like, universes and stuff. I know that Fates is its own universe, at least. Ballista and Launcher? Do we want to, like, just for funsies, I guess? We're never gonna use them. And we're probably gonna take them down eventually anyway, but we're just gonna have them down anyway. Just because and such. Oh, we can upgrade Lilith's Temple now. Because we can get that to level 2. Yeah, let's get a gold Harmonia statue there. And we'll upgrade the other statues later. Just realized we have a new point thing. When was that? We have 2 new point things. We have one that's... There's 1 point redeem that you can do on the channel, which is absolutely nothing. And the other one is you get to name a Pokemon for my Pokemon Platinum playthrough. But that... You know, that's only meant for when I'm streaming Pokemon Platinum and such. And some people have used it to name Pokemon in the playthrough. Kind of like Lancer named my Vaporeon Flareon. Yeah, there you go. You redeemed absolutely nothing. And for those watching this on YouTube after the fact, so you can see it, look at that there. Skull Boss Guzma redeemed absolutely nothing. 100 Pokeballs of points. And as the channel owner, I have infinite Pokeball points, so I can redeem absolutely nothing as many times as I want, and you can't do anything about it. Ever dreamt of doing absolutely nothing? Well, now you can do it in style with absolutely nothing points reward. Side effects include being boosted. Absolutely nothing, not guaranteed. So there's that. There's display capture too. But yeah. So Lilith can gain stats again now that we've upgraded her temple and whatnot, so we'll give her some food and stuff. But yeah, so that's the absolutely nothing points reward. Enjoy. I might need to adjust my mic here a little bit again, because I keep adjusting my chair, so like the position my mic needs to be keeps needing to be slightly different as well. Have we got Munchlax yet in Platinum? I don't plan on getting a Munchlax in Platinum. Why, did you want to name it by chance? Samurott redeemed absolutely nothing. My, oh my. Well, let's go to the next battle. How about? You were so old. My oh my. Skullboss Guzma redeemed name a Pokemon. Are you going to try to make me freaking go out of my way to catch a Munchlax now? Is that your plan? You didn't just name Flareon, also named a random Baneri Lucius. This is true. What name are you going for here, Guzma? Because I don't have a Munchlax. I wasn't planning on going out of my way to get one. But if you're redeeming name a Pokemon, then maybe I try when we continue with Platinum. I don't know. If you get a female Munchlax and evolve it to a Snorlax, name it your mom. My oh my. You know, I once received a Snorlax through Wonder Trade that was named your mom. True story. Munchlax and Pokemon Platinum is one of the most master Pokemon to catch. So yeah, maybe I wouldn't bother doing that. You're kidding, of course. You know, when it comes to people making names in Pokemon games, unless you really want to do it, then go for it. We'll see about it. When it comes to names in Pokemon that are like sent through trade and such, I saw this one this one image that was clearly a nicknamed Pokemon, and the person that it was being sent to was Ash. So in like the trade screen of this nicknamed Pokemon, it said, "Sending nudes to Ash. Goodbye, nudes." It's just something so stupid that just cracked me up so much. Next chapter. Well,